Green flag flies for the first time here tonight. 100 laps scheduled in the official race distance. 2-3 wide. Back through the rear of the field. Check this out. Victor Santos right there in third in that middle lane. 3 wide for just a brief moment. Drivers mixing it up very early here. We'll jump back just a little bit more towards the front of the field. Still got some side-by-side action right here. 3 wide in the middle goes Isaac Morris. Morris, your points leader coming into tonight's race in a heavy traffic, in a dangerous situation, almost 4 wide. Right behind him between Victor Santos, Gavin Sanders, and Robert Sadler. Sadler has an issue. Sadler off track and onto pit road. Sadler, tough break back there for Sadler. You can see it in the background. You can see that smoke. Drivers not yet sorting it out just yet. Matt Houston, he's right here running in the 5th position all over the back end of Luis Gonzalez Nunez, who's just to the outside of Christopher Kresge. Kresge trying to keep that 3rd spot, but not looking like he's going to be able to do so. No caution so far here tonight. We stay clean all the way to begin lap number 3 out of the 100 scheduled in tonight's official race distance in round number 8. That's right, race fans, just tonight in one more round before we will crown our season champion. And unless Julian Altina can pull a miracle and have some drivers have some issues tonight and next Saturday night, doesn't look like he's going to three-peat on the championship. Matt Houston still running strong at the front, still looking for some spots. We've got drivers nose to tail. Check that out. Diego Perino right there running in that 2nd spot. Luis Gonzalez Nunez looking to his outside, trying to take that spot away, keep the momentum up, and keep the speed as much as he can through the corner, running a little bit different line. We'll have to wait and see how that affects these tires. Tires should run out well before these drivers actually need the fuel, but keep in mind you can make changes to those ARBs as well as the weight jacker, so you're able to somewhat help your setup out when it's a little bit too loose in traffic, or the front end travels a little bit too much, or you get a little bit of a understeer, oversteer. You're able to compensate with that weight. Oh, and almost into that outside wall. That was a big time moment there. I believe that may have been Thomas Gessler in the 18 Golf, sponsored Dallara IR18, and indeed it was almost hard contact with that outside wall. That was very, very close. Alex Van de Sande, Dakota DeMage right there lined up just behind them. Craig Forsyth and Isaac Morris now rounds out your top 10. Going to go back to this little battle going on between some of these drivers back through the field. Oscar Fredrickson, Victor Santos, they've got Gavin Sanders, Julian Altina right there in the back of this field. John Christensen, Bart Feurenstein, as well as Michael Jeffries, they're all packed up with each other as Godso looks to the inside of Jeffries. Godso gets another spot on Feurenstein. That's 2 for 1 for Jeffries as he starts to try to climb his way back up through the field. Jeffries has lost 8 spots from where he started tonight's race, sitting now in the 17th spot, so looking to gain a little bit more. Oh, driver down on the apron. Who is that? Oh, my goodness. Caution on the speedway. Oh, my. I believe that was Lewis Woodall involved in this one. There you can see Woodall on the bottom. Oh, my goodness. Multiple drivers just absolutely destroyed in this one. You can see the parts and pieces flying everywhere. The 13. Oh, my goodness. Another look at it there. You can see, getting up to speed and nowhere to go for those 2 drivers, and they are just absolutely demolished. Bart Feurenstein. Oh, my goodness. That is a hard lick. We'll take one more look at it here. Oh, there you can see tires, parts, pieces. They're going everywhere. Drivers up on the wall. Whew. Tough break there for the 13, the 88, as well as the 59. All involved in our very first incident here tonight. Caution flag flying on lap number 7. Once again, the Ford Mustang pace car off of turn number 4, down and away. Field in the hands of your leader. Green flag flies as Shane Coogan hits that loud pedal, and he darts off without any problems up through the gears. Nobody's going to stay with him. We'll jump back, take a little look as these drivers do make their way up through the gears and up to speed. Everybody clean and clear on this restart. It does appear to be so. Jumping back to your top 15, there you can see Gavin Sanders. He's got Julian Altena right behind him. 3-car battle just in front. Thomas Gessler in the middle once again. This is the second time we've seen Gessler 3 wide here tonight at Michigan International Speedway. Making it work once again. He's going to take a spot away from Marcus Houston. Now Gessler looking for a little bit more. Shane Coogan does have a little bit of a fight on his hands. We'll jump back up to the front here in just one moment. Now we'll go up front because Luis Gonzalez Nunez to the bottom of the track. He's looking for the race lead. Nunez going to have the top spot as they make their way off of turn number 4. New race leader for the first time here tonight. Oh, maybe. And indeed, right at the line. Able to keep that race lead. So Luis Gonzalez Nunez snatching a point here, putting that in his back pocket, and that's going to do him some justice for the point standings as well. Matt Houston, Diego Perino, they're battling back there for 3rd and 4th on the track. We'll jump back here with this little hot and heavy battle. As to the inside, Perino drops to the bottom. He's going to look to take the 3rd spot away. Christopher Kresge, he's closing in pretty quickly. He's got Alex Van de Sande and Victor Santos right there in line in tow with him. There you can see that 16 and 17 on the track. Isaac Morris, your points leader. He's battling right here with Santos and Damage. Damage, driver sitting 2nd in the points, running very close to that points leader, trying to keep him in sight, and I think that very well may be a good strategy as Damage now looks to the inside. He's looking to take a spot away from Morris. He has the run in the center, not going to have it on the exit. Ooh, big move there by Gavin Sanders. Sanders was last week's pole sitter, having to make his way up through the field here tonight. He's up 9 spots from where he started tonight's race, now running in the 15th position. Oh, and a big time wiggle off of turn number 2 on the bottom of that speedway. Guard got wicked loose right there, tail end almost snapping around, and that's going to lose a little bit of ground to the field just off in front of him. Julian Altena able to step out to a half a second advantage with just that little bit of a wiggle. Luis Gonzalez Nunez and Shane Coogan, they continue to swap that front spot. They continue to swap back and forth that race lead, but they have opened up a 1.3 second advantage over Diego Perino. There you can see Perino still involved with the battle with Alex Van de Sande, Matt Houston, and Victor Santos. They're on their way into that battle for that 3rd and 4th spot on track. Looking through the timing and scoring, though, Victor Santos right now, driver in that Twitty machine. There you can see him, 4th car in line in this little pack. He is your biggest mover of the race so far here tonight, running in the 6th position, but up 15 spots from where he started and slotted in tonight's race. So big tip of the cap there by Santos. He is on the move and on a roll very early here tonight from Michigan International Speedway in the Michigan 200. Gonna jump back right there. You can see once again a little different angle, little different view for you. Let's see if we can't go down to one of our onboard camera shots. There you can see just over that driver's side, that left side shoulder of Alex Van de Sande, as there you see Diego Perino's gearbox just off in front of him, and look at the speed gained right there in that slipstream, and all of a sudden Van de Sande has to drop down to the bottom of the speedway. Another look back at the driver right there in that 17. Van de Sande looking good so far here tonight. 25 laps on these tires, and they're still able to make some pretty fast and quick moves out there on the speedway. And looking through the timing and scoring, race fans, we'll jump back to the driver with the highest running driver with the fresh tires. There you can see Thomas Gessler in his 18 machine running in the 12th spot. So these drivers that came down pit road, they haven't really gained any ground. As a matter of fact, Gessler's sitting about, big moment in the back of the field. Marcus Hudson. Oh my goodness, Hudson destroyed. We'll take a look here, see what happened to Hudson. But we've seen the aftermath. There you can see that 48 just gets loose, not able to, oh my goodness. That is some hard impact right there. Now looks like we've got a new race leader at the front of the field. Alex Van de Sande gonna get down pit road and back off with the race lead. So big tip of the cap for that 17 and his entire crew getting the job done. Waiting for it on the gas. Green flag flies once again here in the Michigan 200, presented to you by BK Paints, and up through the gears, no problem. Van de Sande scoots away from the field. We'll jump back, take a little look at some of the battles going on back here right around that 5th through 9th position. You can see drivers starting to stack up just behind him. Dakota DeMage running behind Christopher Kresge. Matt Houston right there in 7th. Julian Altena slowly making his way up towards the top 10. Altena now in the 11th position, up 2 spots from where he started tonight's race. This is some of your closest battles right here on the track, so we'll stay right here battling it out for a spot inside the top 10. Dakota DeMage, Thomas Gessler, Julian Altena, Gavin Sanders right here in the mix, as well as Oscar Fredrickson. So multiple drivers trying to mix it up, trying to heat it up here as Shane Coogan. Oh my goodness! Drivers flipping down the track. Diego Perino involved. Oh my goodness. Marcus Hudson, I believe, was involved. Shane Coogan, Victor Santos. Oh my goodness. One more look at it. Oh, Perino for a ride. Oh my goodness. Look at him flipping down the track. Shane Coogan, last week's race winner. We'll ride with him for this one. Oh my God. Flipping, spinning, smashing. Oh my goodness. 3 drivers caught up in this latest one, and there you can see not a tire still attached on that 29 of Shane Coogan. Tough break there as we find ourselves back under caution very quickly here tonight from Michigan International Speedway. And back trackside as the Ford Mustang pace car gets ready to duck off. Van de Sande ready to hit the gas. Green flag flies. Once again now with Isaac Morris right there in the 63 machine sitting in that 2nd spot. Close battle here. Matt Houston up into the 4th spot. He's going to look for more here tonight. Side by side just behind them, Christopher Kresge, Dakota DeMage, and Julian Altena now well inside your top 10, running in that 6th spot. He's looking to the outside of Kresge. Kresge gonna get dropped back 2 spots as DeMage and Altena both make their way around on the high side. Here comes Thomas Gessler now inside the top 10, running back right where he started in the 8th position. So good job by Gessler to regain the early ground lost here. Lap number 37 now on the books as Julian Altena looks to the inside of Dakota DeMage. That's a battle for that final top 5 position, and they have got a hot and heavy battle right there with them. You can see a lot of drivers lined up right behind them, all the way back to the 90 machine of Gavin Sanders, who's up 14 spots from where he started tonight's race. Hard crash flipping down the backstretch. Just glad to see Coogan climb out of that machine after that hard impact. Back at the front though, still nose to tail, front to back. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, Alex Van de Sande, Isaac Morris, Kristen Jasper with a splash. Where did Jasper come from? Wherever he came from, it was back outside of your top 10. He's up 12 spots from where he started tonight's race, back in the 15th position. So Christian Jasper doing a heck of a job out there, and he's going to look to the outside of Isaac Morris. Not sure if he's going to have that run or not, but he is indeed looking to the outside. Julian Altena all over that gearbox of Matt Houston as well. And I tell you what, race fans, while we've got these drivers all packed up, all grouped up with each other, why don't we run down, head down trackside for a little bit of sight and sounds with our Turn 3s. Turn it up. 4 very different lines through 3 and 4. There you can see drivers all stacked up running with each other. Gavin Sanders, Thomas Gessler, as well as Luis Gonzalez Nunez, Christian Jasper falling behind the 8 ball just a little bit. Jasper was sitting up inside that top 3, now running in the 8th position, so falling through the field just a little bit here in this longer run. With 40 laps remaining here tonight, drivers gonna still have to hit pit road at least one more time before they can make it to the end of tonight's race. Looks like the majority of the field was last down on pit road back on lap number 28, so right around the 40 laps ago mark, and we have got, well, just under 40 laps to go here tonight, so drivers right there on the edge of that fuel window opening up. Who's going to come to pit road first? Who's going to attempt the undercut? Will Altena try to gain some track speed, some track time, some track position with an undercut? Or will he be content to pit with the drivers around him? What's going to happen with your top 2? Who's going to get a pit road penalty? We haven't seen green flag pit stops yet here tonight for the Michigan 200 presented to you by BK Paint. So how will these drivers fare trying to come down, get it to speed, and onto pit road with the older tires? And it does look like we've had an incident on track. It does look like timing and scoring showing Craig Forsyth in the 27 machine having a little bit of a moment. So we'll take a look back here, see what happened with Forsyth. Oh, and just a lazy little spin there for Craig and up into the outside wall. A little bit of damage on that machine. He keeps it fired up, gets it going, so we'll keep it going. Back at the front with the battle for the race lead, Isaac Morris has that top spot. Still Alex Van de Sant, Julian Altena, Gavin Sanders lined up right behind them. No change at the front of this field as they have stepped away. Your top 5 have pulled away from Thomas Gessler running back in that 6th position. Which one of your front runners is going to come down pit road first? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. Back at the front, though, these two have stepped away to just about a 1-second advantage over Luis Gonzalez Nunez, who's fighting with Gavin Sanders and Julian Altena for that 3rd, 4th, and 5th position on the track. But Alex Van de Sant, man, I'm telling you what, he is running strong here tonight and looking pretty smooth. Isaac Morris has his hands full and does not have a clear-cut advantage as Julian Altena, Oscar Gonzalez, Christian Jasper, and Christopher Kresge all come to pit road this time by. So another 4 drivers with their green flag pit cycles underway. Isaac Morris down on the bottom of the speedway. He has a shot to come to pit road this time if he wants to. Looks like he's going to peel off. Van de Sant going to peel off with him. Luis Gonzalez Nunez going to stay out on the track as Gavin Sanders comes down pit road with your top 2 drivers. There you can see him. He's trying. He's giving it all he's got on the bottom, but he is not going to have enough time to get up to speed. There you can see Gessler falling just a little bit behind. He very well may be able to slot in there with Luis Gonzalez Nunez, maybe Julian Altena, as Isaac Morris loses that top spot back to Alex Van de Sant once again. Van de Sant takes the sweep down to the bottom of the track and back up right across the nose of Isaac Morris. Now Morris looking to repay the favor as they head back towards turn number 1 to begin lap number 73 out of the 100 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. It's the Michigan 200, brought to you by BK Paints. And as we close in on less than 30 laps to go here tonight, if you haven't already, race fans, throw these drivers a thumbs up. The man just in front of Alacio, that is Christian Jasper. Jasper running in that 11th spot. They've got about 4.5 seconds to make up to get inside the top 10. And will anybody get to Fredrickson running in that 12 machine, sitting in that final spot inside the top 10? There you see up at the top of the speedway, losing a little bit of ground. Falling a little bit further behind Matt Houston. It looks like he has fell way behind the field. That race first driver, there you can see him, I believe, right in front of your race leaders, Isaac Morris, Alex Van de Sant. They're going to make their way by down on the inside lane. So Houston will fall victim to your race leaders and be scored as the first driver off the lead lap, the first driver 1 lap down, running back in the 16th position. Isaac Morris, big run down the backstretch. He'll look to the inside on turn number 3, grab that spot away with ease. But here we see Alex Van de Sande. We've seen him do it multiple times throughout tonight's race. He's going to get the slipstream back. Will he be close enough to use that drop down and pull the switch? He's going to look to the high side this time in turn number 1. Up the track, feeding him a little bit of that dirty air was Isaac Morrison, not being able to get the run. But here comes that big run back down the backstretch, and Alex Van de Sande going to drop to the bottom. Sanders looked to follow through for the moment, but Sanders thought better of it. Going to stay slotted in just behind Morris, now running. Still in that 3rd position. Back up front here as Isaac Morris looks to the bottom of the speedway. 13 laps now remaining as the drivers cross the line, that time by Van de Sande. Back to the top of the track once again. We'll see him get that big run off of turn 2 and down the backstretch. He's got that slipstream, and here he comes looking to the bottom. There you can see it. Once again, as always, or not as always, as we have seen both of these drivers utilize that very same maneuver lap after lap, and now repaying the favor with the crossover after grabbing the slipstream, looking to the bottom of the speedway. Alex Van de Sande going to lose that top spot once again to Isaac Morris. We've had, I don't know, at least 50 or 60 lead changes, but we've only had maybe 5 or 6 race leaders. These two drivers have been the dominant cars at the front under the green flag conditions. We had a handful of drivers lead a lap during the cycle of green flag pit stops. And as we whittle on down on these laps, we close in on just 10 laps remaining here. Isaac Morris, Alex Van de Sande, that battle between those two drivers that has brought multiple other drivers back up into the mix. Luis Gonzalez Nunez right there once again in striking distance with Gavin Sanders, Thomas Gessler, Julian Altena, and Oscar Gonzalez. Gonzalez able to make up quite a bit of time, as now Christopher Kresge and Michael Jeffries, both of these drivers struggling to try to keep themselves on the lead lap. And Kresge gonna fall victim to your race leader, Alex Van de Sande, so that's gonna leave us now with just 13 drivers. Oh my goodness, big time moment there. And the rest of the field, I'm not sure if they knew they were following him. They were all trying to snake and stay in the slipstream, and Alex Van de Sande with a big moment off of turn number 2. That had him weaving hard to that inside, and the whole field kind of followed through. That was a pretty close moment there for multiple drivers. Thomas Gessler right there running in the 5th position. Good time run right here. Big time shout out to Gessler. He's got Julian Altena lined up just behind him. Oscar Gonzalez running in that 7th position, still right here in striking distance. Your top 7 have broken away from the rest of the field. They have about a 12.5 second race advantage back over Oscar Gonzalez. Dakota DeMage sitting just outside of that gap. Way back in the 8th spot, Gary Gotso, Oscar Fredrickson, and Christian Alesio back there rounding out your top 10, and all the way to the 11th and 12th position, John Christensen and Michael Jeffries now being scored as the last driver on the lead lap. Back in the 13th position, battle for the top spot. Still hot and heavy. 4-car battle for the race lead. Late in the going here at the Michigan 200, presented to you by BK Paints, and round number 8 of season number 3 for Velocity Online Racing. And here we go, race fans. 100 laps scheduled in tonight's official race distance. That's 200 miles around this track here tonight. And here we are down to the last 7 laps, and we have still got 5, 6, 7 drivers all packed up right here with each other, all with a chance, all with a shot to lead and win tonight's race. Late in the going there, you can see Julian Altena way up the track. Close moment there for Gavin Sanders. 3 wide as Gonzalez looks to the bottom. Oh my goodness, driver around through pit road. Hard impact to the inside wall. Oscar Gonzalez goes around. Luis Gonzalez Nunez mixing it up with Thomas Gessler now. That's a battle for the third and fourth spot on the track. Gessler up to the high side. Isaac Morris has been able to regain control of the race lead. Hasn't been able to step away, though. These top two stepped out to just about a 0.3 of a second race advantage for the moment. High five, just 5 laps to go. Now for Alex Van de Sant and Isaac Morris running in the first and second position right here. Isaac Morris now leads Van de Sant back down the backstretch. Gonna use that inside lane, force Van de Sant to run the high line back into turn number 3. Van de Sant not gonna have the momentum, not gonna be able to keep it up. Here comes the crossover late off of 4. Looking to the bottom of the speedway. Here comes Van de Sant, drag race to the line. I do believe Van de Sant got it at the line as these drivers mixing it up hard right here. Some great racing action at the end of tonight's Michigan 200, brought to you by BK Paints, and now running back inside those podium positions. There you can see Velocity Online Racing Team driver Julian Altena, your defending series champion, running the extremely, oh my goodness, into the outside wall. Looking to see who that was. Hard impact with that outside wall. I believe that was Gavin Sanders, and indeed it was. You can see that wound at number 90 carrying on around the bottom of the speedway. Tough break late in the going for Gavin Sanders. And caution flag has come out. Caution flag flies. Walking away with the race win there. You can see the pace car will lead this field to the checkered flag. Race win for Alex Van de Sant in the Michigan 200, presented to you by BK Paints. There you can see all the drivers now let go and free, walking away with the race win in the top spot here in the Michigan 200, presented to you by BK Paints in season number 3, round number 8 for Velocity Online Racing, the 17 of Alex Van de Sant. Finishing in second here tonight, your points leader coming into tonight's race, the 63 of Isaac Morris. Walking away in third in the final podium spot, the 1 of Julian Altena. Thomas Gessler gonna slot home in fourth, while the 15 of Luis Gonzalez Nunez finishes in the 15th spot. Dakota DeMage right there in 6th. Gary Gotso gonna slot home in 7th. Christian Alesio gonna bring his 81 machine home in the 8th spot. Oscar Fredrickson back in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 last driver on the lead lap, the 44 of John Christensen.